So, my predictions were absolutely crap. Week 5 of the Premier League has now been and gone, so let's have a look at the results and see what's going on. This is the Premier League with the Toon Review. Hi everyone, so as I said there in the intro, my predictions were pretty much defunct after the first 2 or 3 games on Saturday for the Premier League. We'll start with the Merseyside derby, very, very controversial game of football. For me, Pickford should have gone. I've never seen a challenge like that from a goalkeeper who is actually in his own 18-yard box, yet decides to fly with his feet first. I don't care whether it was offside or anything like that. If that was an outfield player, that's an instant red card. And for me, Pickford should have gone. Undoubtedly should have gone. But again, VAR said that it wasn't deemed worthy of investigation, which I find incredible. But anyway, they end up getting a 2-2 draw, Everton, but should have actually lost 3-2 because really, was that goal offside? I don't think so. And anybody that looks at that will think, how the hell have VAR come to that conclusion that that was offside? Liverpool played very well throughout the game, but Everton got a point out of it and they continue their fantastic run, but Liverpool will feel very aggrieved. I am going to do a separate video about VAR and my thoughts on it, which will be coming out in the next couple of days. So do subscribe to the channel and you'll get to see that very soon. Now on to Stamford Bridge. After my prediction of an Everton win went down the pan, so did my prediction of a Chelsea win. Chelsea couldn't hold on to the lead. They were 2-0 up at one stage. It ended up being 3-3 with a very, very late goal from Southampton, who must take a lot of credit from the game. They held on, they kept battling, and they got the result in the end and came away from Stamford Bridge with a point. Now, not a lot of people would have seen that coming, especially when Werner had put Chelsea 2 up with both goals. It seemed like Southampton were going to be in for a very long afternoon, but hey-ho, they weren't. They battled, they stuck in, and 2 out of 2 predictions down the Swanee. It ended up being 3-3. And then we move on to the Manchester City-Arsenal game. Manchester City deserved to win that. They were ahead very early on, and then from then on pretty much controlled the game. I thought Arsenal stayed in it though really well, and I think that the Arsenal of old, of a couple of years ago or even a year ago, may have just folded and got absolutely hammered in that game, but they didn't. They stayed in the game, and I think that's a big improvement that the Arsenal fans will look to and think, right, we've stayed in that game with Manchester City, we can go one better next time maybe. And I think Arsenal will be up there this season. I'm impressed with what Arteta's doing. Manchester City, I still don't think are firing in all cylinders. It's hit and miss with them at the minute. I don't think they were outstanding on Saturday. Did they deserve to win the game? Probably, but I still think they're very beatable as well, and that's why I think the title race this season in the Premier League is going to be extremely, extremely tight. But I did predict a Man City win, so I'll take one there. And on to the next game, my team Newcastle United. Oh my God. If you haven't seen my review on the game, then please, I'll leave a link in the description. Go and have a watch of it. It's more of a rant. Even if you're not a Newcastle United fan, go and have a look at it because it's a major rant. And, you know, Newcastle's defensive-minded structure that they've had for years now, not just under Bruce, but under Rafa as well, except they were a lot more organised under Rafa. And Man United, for me, as I said in my prediction video, they were there to be beaten. And certainly when Newcastle went 1-0 up with a very lucky goal, it has to be said, it was an own goal, but Man United's confidence would have been down the Swanee then because of what had happened against Spurs. But Newcastle sat back, let Man United have the ball. Man United dictated the game. De Gea made a wonderful save from Wilson when it could have been 2-1 to Newcastle. But realistically, Newcastle were dreadful. Manchester United fully deserved to win the game. Played some lovely football, scored some lovely goals. Are they back? I don't quite think so. It's a measure of how Newcastle United, how far we have fallen, to say that, you know, people are saying, well, it's only Newcastle United. And it is. You know, we aren't a great side, and certainly under Steve Bruce, we're the most negative side in Britain at the moment. But aside from that, Man United thoroughly deserved the 3 points, played very, very well, and it'll be a good confidence booster for them. So I went for a Newcastle win, so again, I fail miserably. On to Sunday, and we had Sheffield United against Fulham. Fulham stuck in there, worked hard, got a point out of the game, which will give them a tremendous amount of confidence. Sheffield United still not firing on all cylinders, are they, really, from last season? They're just struggling a little bit at the minute. They're just here and there. They're not quite at the level that we've seen from last year. But anyway, it finished 1-1. I went for a Sheffield United win. I could only see one winner, especially at Bramall Lane. But again, teams are surprising you week in, week out in the Premier League. You try and predict results, and it ends up being completely the opposite. It's absolute madness. So it finished 1-1, so a point apiece at Bramall Lane. Crystal Palace Brighton, again, it was these two arch enemies over the years. I didn't really see a passionate game. I didn't really see one of those cutthroat, thirsty games that you normally see between Palace and Brighton. But that will have something to do with the fans not being there. You know, the Old Firm played last weekend, and without the fans there, just, you know, you think, you're looking at the game and it's just not the same, is it? You've got the raw passion of both sets of fans in the ground, and giving each other stick and giving the players stick and trying to get them to concentrate over the noise in the stadium, and it's just not the same. But it finished 1-1. They got a point apiece, and I think I actually predicted a draw on that one. I can't remember which one I put. I may have gone for a sneaky Palace win, but I think I went for the draw. But never mind. It finished 1-1. Tottenham West Ham United. I mean, what can you say about that game at White Hart Lane? Brilliant performance in the first half from Tottenham. But when you say that, West Ham were never out of the game. You know, Tottenham blitzed them in the first, 15-20 minutes. It was 3-0. It was all over. But you always felt that West Ham looked like they could score a goal. Or certainly I did. And it proved the point in the second half. I mean, Tottenham didn't really fold, or it didn't look to me like they folded. It just looked to me like West Ham kept going. And credit to them for that, because they worked so hard in that second half to get the goals back. I mean, should you ever lose a 3-0 lead at home? No, you shouldn't. And I think Jose will be extremely angry about that. But David Moyes, on the other hand, he'll be delighted the way his team came back. He certainly won't be delighted with what he saw in the first 15-20 minutes, but he'll be delighted with what he saw after that. The work rate that West Ham put in to get back in that game, and credit to them. You know, they worked their socks off, and it ended up finishing 3-3. Again, I predicted the Tottenham win, so I do apologise to you West Ham fans. You did really well to come back, so credit to you. 3-3 at White Hart Lane. And the final game on Sunday was Leicester 0, Villa 1. Now, for me, the signing of Ross Barkley on loan for the rest of the season has given Villa that extra impetus they needed in the middle of the park to play alongside or play with Grealish. You can see the kind of partnership they're setting up already, and that is only going to benefit Aston Villa. Leicester City, on the other hand, you know, they're so hit and miss this season. You know, they drug Man City at the Etihad, then they lose 2 home games. It's bizarre. So, you know, you don't know how to read teams this season. It's very, very difficult to read who's going to win each game. You know, and me, when I put me accumulating bets on a weekend, I'm thinking, you know, I'm studying the league tables and studying form guides and things like that, and I'm at the point of saying, well, what the hell's the point? You know, you cannot judge who's going to play well, who's not going to play well in the Premier League this season. Results are just all over the place. But Villa, for me, I mean, you know, don't get us wrong, as a Newcastle fan, we've had our knock-ins with Villa over the years, but they are good to watch. And how Grealish is not in the England side, I do not know. We are screaming out in the international team for somebody like Jack Grealish. screaming out. And Southgate doesn't play him. I don't know why, I don't know what's going on there, but he needs to be in the side. Simple as. So well done to Villa for winning that game. Monday's games, West Brom, Burnley. Well, I predicted this wasn't going to be a classic, and it wasn't. You know, chances at both ends, yes. No goals in the game, and I did say it was probably going to be a drab 1-1 or a 0-0, and it turned out that way. These kind of games, you know, you've got West Brom who are desperately trying to, you know, make sure that they get rid of this yo-yo club status. Burnley, on the other hand, looking to get off the bottom of the table. Sean Dyche will be disappointed that they didn't get 3 points at the Hawthorns, but it's a point, and they've got to take that as a positive moving forward. So 1-1 at the Hawthorns. And the final game of week 5 in the Premier League was Leeds United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Now, this was for me, I really enjoyed watching this game, and I tweeted out as a Newcastle fan, watching these two sides play lovely flowing attacking football is totally different from what we as Newcastle fans are used to. You know, when we just park the bus for 90 minutes and try and get a break. You know, we have a utter useless inept manager, yet you've got Bielsa and the Wolves manager, Flores, I can't remember his name, two very, very attacking minded, Nuno Espirito Santo, I think is his name, just came to me there. However, two very, very, very attacking minded managers who like to get the ball down and play football as it should be played, not like these dinosaur managers like Steve Bruce. And like I said, I put on a tweet that I was just loving watching Leeds play and Wolves play some lovely stuff as well. Newcastle have got Wolves at the weekend, and it's going to be an absolute disaster. I can just see it now. But well done to both teams for putting on a really good game. It was very enjoyable to watch. Wolves sneaked the 1-0 win. It could have been 2-0. They scored a pretty good goal, which was given offside due to a wonderful VAR decision again in the build-up. But you can't really do much about that at the minute. So well done to Wolves. So week 5 is over and done with. Everton is still up there. You know, I'm not even looking at the league table at the minute. It's too early. You know, you've got 4 or 5 games into the season. It doesn't really say anything. You start looking at the league table maybe 10, 12 games in. So I'll be back later on in the week with week 6 predictions. Please do not put bets on based on what I've predicted, because if you look at this weekend, all of yous will be crying because there was no winners at all. But hey ho, you win some, you lose some. But I will be back later on this week with predictions. I'll also be back probably maybe tomorrow or Thursday talking about VAR. I'm also going to be doing a video on this crazy European Premier League breakaway that's been talked about. So that'll be coming maybe tomorrow or Thursday as well. So plenty of videos coming up on this channel. Even if you're not a Newcastle United fan, do subscribe to the channel, because we do other things bar Newcastle United. We do Premier League match reports and news and previews and things like that, all kept in a separate playlist from the Newcastle United playlist as well. So click on the channel homepage and you can have a look down at the various playlists there, and you'll see all the Premier League stuff on there. So even, like I say, even if you're not a Newcastle United fan, do get yourself subscribed to the channel. If you've enjoyed the video today, do hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time that I upload a video. And if you've come back again, thank you very much. We'll see you on the next video. In the meantime, stay safe and take care, and I'll catch you later. Be strong.